Hello, everybody. John Drenna, sales manager at V.I.P Mortgage, and today I'm in this podcast studio with a near and dear friend, Mr. Andrew Ank with Sphere Real Estate. Thank you for coming in today.
Hey, thanks for having me, John. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Well, today we're going to talk about family. We're going to talk about culture. We're going to talk about community. We're going to talk about real estate. But Andrew's here via Chicago, and I'm here via the Cleveland, Ohio area. And so we talk baseball and everything.
Yeah.
And I know they're the Cleveland Guardians, but I still call them the Indians. He's a White Sox fan, so we've been bantering back and forth, and that's good fun. But here today, Andrew, I want everybody to know who you are. Once again, I want you to talk about your lovely wife, your kids, community, real estate. So the floor is yours.
Yeah, thanks. And again, thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here today. And I love being in this community. You know, we were talking a little bit about community, and I live in the Summerlin area, and we moved there back in 21
Nice.
from the Southwest. And just can't say enough great things about Summerlin and the West Side and the community that we have there. Everything that we do in our life is there. My wife's an attorney. Her office is there. All this stuff for our kids. We have fantastic school, public school too. Great public schools, which is rare. When my wife and I always joke that, you know, you're either going to pay for the mortgage or you're going to pay for the tuition, right? So if you look up the school districts that you like and find that one, you'll find that those homes are priced a little bit higher for a reason. Yeah. And it brings a lot of the families together. So a lot of people I know from out of state have a lot of concern about raising kids in a town like Las Vegas just because of the negative connotation that you get from gambling. And
there's
of course,
a lot of
people
there's a lot of
come to
vices.
party and all that stuff, but that's really not what Las Vegas is all about.
No.
When you live here.
We're a city. We got our communities, we got our suburbs, and we're not the Strip. And I'm so glad you bring that up, because a lot of people, they can only see the tree through the forest. They're like, hey, the Las Vegas is all about the Strip, and we're so much more than that.
Yeah, so people that wonder if it's a good place to raise kids, you know, if you find the right community, and I can help with that. Obviously, right?
That's why you're here.
You find the right community, and you make great friends, and there's so much stuff for the kids to do. My kids are in camps all summer while we work.
Nice.
And you know, like they both participate in scouting. We go camping. So much outdoor stuff to do out here.
And that's what people don't know about.
Yeah.
Once again, they think it's just the Strip.
Yeah.
We got Lake Mead. We got Mount Charleston.
Red
have Red Rock. You know, you go south to Arizona, there's so much to do. You go
Grand
north
Canyon.
to Utah. Yep. You go north to Utah, so much to do with it, you know, summer fun, fall, winter skiing, all that. And then, of course, we have the national parks.
Yes. And we've got Red Rock. So Summerlin backs up to Red Rock. Some great outdoor activity there. But also, we're adjacent to Utah, which has 7 national parks,
I think it's something
more
like
than
that,
than any other state.
Yep.
And of course, California,
Correct.
which also has like 5 or something national parks. Incredible. There's like all kinds of YouTube videos and Instagrams where you can do the loop. And it's like hit all these different parks. And if you've got kids, you know, 4th grade is the year, right? So you get a free pass to get into the park. So we're looking at doing that for next summer.
Nice.
Doing an RV and getting in and going to all the different parks with the kids.
That's awesome.
And then we'll have another year where we do it when my daughter's in 4th.
Nice.
So yeah, we're going to expose the kids to some national parks, outdoor stuff, a little bit more. We do quite a bit outdoors now. We do we like camping. We go camping in Red Rock has a nice campground. We did the Grand Canyon right before the fires hit. Thankfully, still great. You know, stuff's starting to come back already out there. But it does take a while for everything to grow back after a big fire like that.
It does. And I remember when I first met my wife, her parents built a cabin up in Swains Creek, which is up north of Duck Creek.
We go to Duck Creek.
Yeah. And they built it her father built it in like 1981, 82, something like that. And she had mentioned that there was a big fire, and you could still see, when I first met her, bits and pieces of the damage that the fire caused, but then you can see that it was growing back, and you just hope that a lot of water, rain, snow, and have those good seasons, and it really can rejuvenate itself from the dead, pretty much.
Have you been? So do you go up there quite a bit?
We used to when I first met my wife and the kids were younger, but then my father-in-law, his health went down, and so my mother-in-law sold it a handful of years ago.
My father-in-law is a landscape photographer, not a real estate photographer, a landscape photographer, and most of his portfolio is up there. He's been shooting up there for close to 40 years now.
Wow.
He's on the sign there. He used to have a studio up there. They still have a sign up there for Craig Primus Photography, and he does shows out of his cabin up there. Beautiful place. So he still does the art shows up there, but his portfolio is amazing.
Oh,
so if you ever want to look him up, Craig Primus Photography on Instagram. A little shout out for you, Craig. Great portfolio, beautiful stuff. So if you're looking for landscape photography, he's the guy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We learn something new every day, folks.
Right? But we love going up there. And at Swains Creek, you guys always have, you got the nice little HOA. You keep us riffraff out.
Yeah. Swains Creek was a private.
Yeah.
They have a little, people don't realize they have a private landing strip in there.
Yeah, and the landing strip, yes.
And the lake and stuff. So when my son, I remember pictures when my son was like 5 years old, going fishing in the pond and stuff like that. So so we did that. We did that a good long time.
That's where my son caught his first fish, was in Duck Creek Pond.
There you go.
Yeah, not the private pond in Swains. Yeah, but it's so much great places like that all around.
Correct.
Right? So you can go anywhere in any direction. And within a few hours,
and
really nice.
And that's why we want you here today,
stuff.
Because we want you to explain to people that we have some great things that everybody knows about.
Yeah.
We do have world-class dining, entertainment, sporting teams now, etc. We also have no state income tax. Okay, so these are things that draw people, but what people don't realize is there is the communities. In Henderson and Inspirada. I mean, they're talking about building a station casino down there. They're going to be. I saw one guy saying it's going to be better than Summerlin, but that's what people always say. Summerlin's always just been there since the 90s.
Because Summerlin's the standard, right? So people are trying to live up to the standard.
But Station Casino does. I mean, think about it. You got Red Rock Casino, and that's really in the heart of Summerlin. Then they built Durango, which has done great, and they're expanding that. And then if they build one out in Inspirada, I mean, these people don't leave these communities.
Exactly.
You don't have to.
Well, and Inspirada is a little bit farther north, right? So they could really benefit from something like that. It's a great community out there, well-priced homes too. I really like the Inspirada area, but that's one of those where you got to drive a little bit, usually for work.
And
so you add a little commute.
Yeah, Summerlin is what everybody chases.
Yeah.
I live in Providence. Yeah. Right next to it, Sky Canyon. That's newer. Providence was built in 2006. I think that really slowed down during the economic collapse.
Yeah, I love Providence. We just did a deal in Providence.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Yeah, it's still a great place. And Sky Canyon, is better, newer. It's got more amenities, but that's just what it is. You build a master plan community, and then the next master plan community builder comes in and says, "We can't build the same thing.
Right.
We just got to build something different, nicer, newer." And what is that community? What was Providence lacking that Sky Canyon could put in with the difference from like 2005, 2006 when they started to whenever Sky Canyon was? I don't know, maybe 2015.
And the thing I love about the West Side is, you have Summerlin, this gold standard community for the nation, one of the best HOAs in the nation, best communities in the nation. Nobody likes HOAs, right? One of the best communities in the nation. Not just you've got all the outdoor stuff, all the community, the ballpark, downtown Summerlin, all the dining and shopping options that anyone would possibly want, right? I mean, you're like Rodeo Drive level stuff. Great stuff. But having the ballpark, we're going to the Aviators game. We're going to do my daughter's end of season baseball party up on the party deck up there tonight.
I've been part of a few different organizations and events on the party deck. I've been as an attendant, but I've also been as a sponsor.
Yeah,
and it's great. Yeah, it is so much fun.
Yeah, we'll be watching our phones though, because tonight's game 2 of the Stanley Cup. So if you have any followers too that have extra tickets for maybe game 4, we're looking.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. We used to have season tickets years ago.
We had season tickets up until last season was the first season that we haven't had them.
I think mine was probably 2 or 3 years ago. But what happened was we didn't. So wait, the Golden Knights won in 2023. That's the year I got rid of them, and the reason I did was because the previous 2 years I didn't go to one game. Life was just too busy.
It's hard with kids, so that was our struggle too.
Yep.
The first few seasons we were going to every game.
Yeah.
Basically. And then, the last season we'd gone to 4, and it's hard to sell all those tickets and, not trying to even make money.
Yeah,
they have a lot of games.
They have a lot of games.
They have a lot of games.
And then you have the preseason games, and it almost becomes like a second job.
And then the postseason, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it becomes expensive if it goes to the postseason, which we always want to, but just like, wow, those tickets get up there pretty quick.
Yeah.
But it's hard. On a random Tuesday, your wife calls you up and says, hey, I'm working late, and you're like, you know what? I really wasn't excited to go today anyways. It's just a random game.
Right.
And now all of a sudden you got 2 hours to try to find somebody that's willing to pay just face value or even a discount rate.
And we ended up eating quite a few tickets. So that's why we just go. I mean, the availability of tickets is out there.
Yeah.
So there's not really as much of a benefit unless you want the same seat all the time. And
even for a family of 4, excluding
all the games,
excluding the postseason, you can pay the premium to get really good seats for 1 game, 2 games, and you're still saving money from what you would have paid for the whole season.
Yeah.
And of course, when you get there, there's parking, there's food, there's
all the
merchandise,
and
so you roll in there. You roll in there with your season tickets, and you're rolling out $200 out of your pocket.
Yeah, one of the things I love about Las Vegas too is going to events like that and being part of this community. Right, we're what are we 2.1 million people in this town now, which is a small city still,
comparatively speaking.
And I don't think there's an event that my family goes to where we don't run into people that we know, and I love that feeling. Right, we go to games, we're always running into another family that we know. My son. We go out of state, and my son knows people. It's like, how does my 9-year-old know that people were in California visiting? He's like, oh, there's my friend from camp.
Yep. Because, let's be honest, we all kind of go to the same places.
Yeah.
But that's so funny that you said that. So my father, before he passed away, worked at Ford for 32 years. And if you know anything about automakers, they shut down 2 weeks in July to do the switchover. So like in July of 2026, they're going to start building the 2027 vehicles. Okay, and then there's 2 weeks off on Christmas. And so during Christmas time, a lot of times we'd visit family in West Virginia. So we're talking about the outdoors and hiking and all the different things. That's how I grew up. But what would happen in the summertime, we'd go places. And sometimes we'd go to Virginia or South Carolina. And literally, my father would run into other Ford workers in different states and stuff. So the fact that you just said that made me remember that my mom would be like, how do you know so many people? He's like, oh, that guy's been at work at Ford for 13 years. And at that time, my dad had been there, 20 years kind of stuff. So it's just us. Even though the United States is large, the globe is large.
Right.
it's a small world sometimes when you run into people.
It is.
And also funny, my daughter goes to LSU, and she was a freshman last year, so of course going into her sophomore year, and she went on orientation. And there was somebody that she had danced with years ago. So like I'm talking probably 4th, 5th grade, but everybody still kind of follows people on social media. So let's say your son ends up playing baseball, and let's say that
plays the baseball,
and that's what my son did when he was young. And then all of a sudden, he gets out of baseball, but he still follows his friends that were on baseball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this girl, my daughter, my wife said, was at the freshman orientation, and some girl came up from behind and put her hand on her shoulder and said, "Hannah," and she's like, "Who would know me in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on freshman orientation day?" She turned around, and it was somebody she danced with. My daughter, so I'm going to say 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
But they still know each other on social media, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and the community here is like I said, just really strong. Like we have so many connections with people, and you get a lot of people too that move out of state. Like the military, we have a lot of military friends.
Course.
So I've got a listing coming up. Great family, hate to see them go, but now we have that connection. And when we're in Florida, we'll see them, right?
Now, are they moving? Are they moving within the military, or they're just moving
within the military? Okay. Yeah,
because we have dear friends that moved from here to Sarasota.
Yeah.
So when my son played in a big tournament when he was like, I'm going to say like 11. We played in a tournament in Fort Myers. They drove down and watched and stuff, so that was really cool.
Yeah, he's going to be a base commander. I know that they don't like to have their information out too much, so I'll leave it at that. But he's moving up to be a base commander in Florida, and great family, and can't, say enough great things about all the different friends and family we have within the community.
Agreed.
They just actually gave us their fish. It was a big deal in my house. We got this tiny fish. Our house is bustling. My son's reading stories to it. It's it's funny, the little things that families grow to love and build their relationships on. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, once again, you're a big baseball family. I'm a big baseball family. Do you guys travel to go watch just baseball, or go travel to like places to see the White Sox? Because
we try to get one travel game a year, so we go to the different stadiums each year. Yeah.
Perfect. So
last year we did Diamondbacks on Father's Day and got to go down on the field and play catch and stuff with the kids on the field.
And that's awesome. My son and I, a few years ago, once again, I still call them the Cleveland Indians. I'm an Indians fan from birth.
I still call the Sears Tower the Sears Tower,
yep,
right?
There you go. So. There you go. Father's Day, it was a handful of years ago, Indians at Dodgers. And so my wife and daughter stayed here. We flew down to L.A. I think it was called John Wayne Airport or something like that. We flew in, or Burbank. I can't remember where it was, but we flew in. My son got us an Uber. We went to the beach, had breakfast, got another Uber, went to the game, watched the game, then got another Uber, and went back to the airport. So it was a one-day trip. No backpack, no nothing. We were just there. Yeah. And we watched the game, and that was great. Awesome. But yeah, we started, my daughter, like her 7th birthday, she wanted to see Taylor Swift in San Francisco. And so while we're in San Francisco, we just caught a game. Yeah. And it was the Nationals versus the Giants. But what I love about baseball, we all garbed up in our Indians gear.
Yeah.
And you can do that. It's not like football. If you're on the wrong side of football, I mean, I've seen plenty of fights. I mean, don't get me wrong, fights can happen at baseball games, but football gets a little crazier. And so we did that. And so we've been to so many different stadiums and doing that. And then, of course, evolution of life and other responsibilities and things like that. But yeah, we've done that too. So that's super fun. And
it's super easy to do here. Like you said, like LA is just a quick flight. Yep. San Diego also a quick flight. Oh, I touched my mic. You get on and it's a day trip.
Yeah.
You don't even have to pack. Right. You don't have to stay in the hotel.
You don't have to. Yeah, my wife and I
come right back.
Exactly. My wife and I, when the kids were younger, we used to do like a 24-hour trip to San Diego. Yeah. We'd get up in the morning, get on like that 8, 9 o'clock Southwest flight. By the time you get there, ask for early check-in, go to the local bars, 11, 12 o'clock, have a couple drinks. Everybody's, whoever's in town. We'd go to games that we didn't care. We were just doing it. And then we'd go to the 1 o'clock Saturday game. Yeah. And then we'd go to, what is it called, the Gas Lamp District down there. Yeah. And go down there and have dinner and stuff like that. Sleep in the hotel. Get on the 9 o'clock flight the next day, and so it's really a 24-hour trip, and gain some points here and there, use some points, and just have it's the America's pastime, and so I like to just go watch a baseball game, even if it's not the Indians and it's not my favorite team. Yep. Just going, hot dog, beer, peanuts, another beer, and watch the game.
Pretty soon we'll be able to watch pro games here. Almost there.
Yes.
2028?
2028, yep. And they said it's moving forward without the Bally's stuff going to be completed or something. So I don't know, way above my pay grade. But yeah, it's supposed to be 2028.
They're building it.
Oh, yeah, they definitely are.
They're building it, and we will come.
yes. Now, okay, let's talk some real estate real quick.
Yes.
You and I have done some deals together, which is great. You and I, as soon as you got a client, you call me. Doesn't matter. 7 days a week. I think the last time you and I did something was on a federal holiday, and you said, "Hey, is it possible?" And I'm like, "I got my laptop. Let me crunch some numbers." So
I think you're the most proactive mortgage guy that I've met, at least. I would say in town.
I take that as
I'm biased.
I take that as an endearing compliment.
Yeah.
So tell some people. I like successes. Tell some people some challenges that you were able to overcome, because once again, everybody. I always tell everybody, realtors attract like-minded people, okay? And realtors never sell a house. The house sells itself. Realtors build relationships. They protect you with the contract, with their experience, their licensing, their brokerage, everything like that. Andrew's a great guy. I've seen him do some magical things on deals where he's getting, reduced prices and closing costs. He's able to fix problems. We were in a situation recently where he pretty much kiboshed the deal because it was, don't take it wrong, it was like a little bit of lipstick on a pig, and he caught it before even wasting your
Yeah.
client's time with an inspection because of your experience and knowledge. So talk a little bit about some real estate scenarios and deals that were successes, maybe some that were borderline failures, but then you turned it into a success, because people like to hear those winning stories.
Yeah, so that one, let's talk about that one right there. So we've got a client that's still looking, right? He's pre-approved, young, first-time buyer.
Correct.
They are first-time buyers, him and his fiance. They'll be getting married soon, so they'd be happy to know. They're looking at some homes, and the home, you could feel the floor was slanted, right? You know, sometimes you don't need an inspection. I can't say, hey, this is a problem, but I do always say, that's something we're going to want the inspector to look at, right? And as we're going back and forth with a seller that's unwilling to come down to market value, it certainly doesn't make sense to be paying over market for property where we know that there's a potential issue down the road. And and if we're already having problems with negotiation, what's that negotiation going to be like, right? We're probably not going to get very far.
100%. It's kind of like if you have a problem in the first hour, what do you think is going to happen in the 15th hour?
Yeah.
And that's exactly, and you caught that.
Yeah.
And you caught that right away.
And negotiation, I'm a pretty strong negotiator. And when you know they're not going to give and be fair, right? That's not a good deal.
Yeah.
A good deal is described where both sides are given a little bit, right?
We have to have a willing buyer, a willing seller, and it's got to be fair.
Yeah, you got to negotiate. And in my household, trust me, my wife's an attorney, so there's a lot of negotiation that happens in our house.
So you become an expert negotiator because of your marriage.
That's right.
And then she lays down the letter of the law, and you're like, honey, you can't bring that into the house. This
Right.
is love, not law. I can hear you on that. Well, tell me some more different stories. Ones that we've done together, or maybe just other deals that you did.
I think really some of the bigger challenges are just the market, right? And what we've been seeing in the last several years. It's been challenging. Buyers have struggled not wanting to come in with higher interest rates, and you could speak to, as you see rates coming down a little bit now this year. And we're seeing some more come back, but it's still definitely a strong buyer's market. There's a lot of inventory out there. For agents like me, it's hard because there's so many agents to compete against, right? So to stay relevant, how do we stay relevant? And that's by negotiating great deals, getting your customers to speak for you, and they bring me. I think 95% or more of my business is referral.
Love it.
And I keep it very concierge so that I can take care of my clients on a one-on-one basis. I'm not pawning them off to other agents. If I have too many clients at a time, I will refer a client to another agent
Or
so
if
that
you're out of
I can
town.
take care of my clients.
You got to.
Even when I'm out of town, though, I mean, there's not much that I can't
No.
handle over the phone other than I can't show you this property right now because I'm not there,
Yeah.
right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. But you got a great team over at Sphere, and
Yes.
you could do that if you're
Yes.
on vacation and you're doing everything.
And then
you
I
just
have-
call up one of your colleagues and say,
Exactly.
"Hey, could you do me a huge favor? This house just came on the
Yeah.
market. The client's fully pre-approved with John
Yeah.
Drennan, and this could be the one because it's checked all the boxes.
Right.
Could you do me a favor at 2:00 tomorrow?"
And that happens.
Yeah, and that happens every so often.
But not too often. When you are able to have that personal relationship with your clients because they're referrals, you already know them. You tell them what's going on in your life.
Of course.
And you make it all work, right? So it all comes together.
I do it all the time. My son races go-karts, and we're out of town. I'm licensed. My transaction coordinator's not. But if I need something locked, I call my operations manager and say, "Hey, I need you to go into the ink file. The rate is blah, blah, blah. Here's the cost, blah, blah, blah. I need you to lock it because I'm not there. Because it would take longer for me to get the laptop out, connect it to the Wi-Fi. Am I in the shade? Am I in the sun? Am I indoors? Am I outdoor? I could just make a phone call.
Yeah, we've done those transactions where, we're leaning on support to get transactional stuff done,
of
right?
course.
Where it's not one-on-one interface with the client, but we need backroom support. And you say, hey, yeah, call Destiny, right?
Patience. Yes.
Patience. She takes care of it.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
But there's never a missed
No.
beat.
We've been doing it long enough
goes
that we
very
know-
fast paced with you.
Oh, it does
I
go
don't think
fast-paced.
I was thinking about this on the way here. I don't think we've closed a deal on time.
No, we haven't.
We've closed them all early.
Yeah.
Every
And if we
single
haven't
one.
closed them early, it was because the seller didn't want to close early.
Yeah.
But we're sitting on a
I don't
we're
think
sitting
we've
on
had
a
one,
30-day
though.
escrow
Yeah.
10 days early.
Yeah.
Why not? You
Yeah.
know, unless most of the time the contract says honor before anyways. So
Right.
I always tell
Exactly.
everybody, you know, I'm a huge believer. I would rather get the work done today and rest the next day and say we're ready versus rest and then something happens. Then all of a sudden, you know, last year I got a phone call right after to Tuesday after Memorial Day, and it was by my wife, and she said, "I think my dad's having another heart attack."
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
He had a massive heart attack 2018. He had another one last year. So now, sadly, both sides of his heart. So it's just about him trying to be as healthy as possible. My point is, if I could have done something on Monday, now I know that was a holiday, but I'm just using Monday as a calendar day. But if I could have done it on Monday, then Tuesday, I didn't have anything to do per se. But because I decided that Monday I'm going to rest, then Tuesday something happened, an uncontrollable event.
Right.
So now I can't do it on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And what if it's due on Tuesday?
Right.
That's why you do it
Get
now.
Get it done
Get
when
it done
you can
early.
get. When
Yep,
you can,
get it done early.
exactly.
We got deals right now that that we could have closed 3 weeks early. Seller doesn't want to close,
Yeah.
so we're just sitting here. Clients are locked. We're
And that
clear
happens.
to close, and that
Yeah.
happens. But as
Yeah.
long as we do that, then guess what? We got that taken care of. Now we go on to the next one.
I do more sales than I do, more listings than I do purchases. And I have sellers often that can't. You know,
Correct.
you just can't because they're moving and
Well,
and
look at your
all
military
other
guy.
things. Yeah.
The government is going to move his stuff.
Yes.
You see what I'm
He's
saying?
doing that right now.
That's the
actually.
whole point.
Yes.
So it's like, you know, you can't move him up, you can't move him back. When the
Right.
government says, the government says.
Yes.
And I actually just did a deal for a government employee, and he sold his house through a relocation company, and then they will sell the house after the fact. And they had a firm date, and it
Yep.
was what it was. And they're like, we don't have closing disclosures. This is like a cash deal. And you know, we proved it all with what they called their final statement, and it was very, very abnormal. But we took care of them, and then they closed 2 days after they sold their house back east.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have a relocation company through your company, please request your own agent. Don't use the relocation agent.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, relocation. agent-
Whether it's me or someone you know and trust.
Well, because it's almost like a builder's agent,
Yes,
realtor. I'm not being
exactly.
disrespectful. I have some great relationship with realtors, but remember, you need to still have your own realtor because the builder's realtor is being paid by the builder, and
Exactly.
they are on the builder's side.
Why do you think they're there?
Exactly.
Yes.
So-
because they need an agent. So do you.
Yep,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
Amen. Amen. Well, listen, Andrew, it's always great to talk to you. Love talking sports. Love talking about families. Your family reminds me of my family. Just my daughter, like I said, is older. My son's older.
Yeah.
But the dynamic is like you today or where I was 10 years ago, kind of thing. And so we love talking baseball. We love talking family. We love talking real estate, and we love helping clients. So, get out there, keep grinding, take care of the clients that we got in the hopper right now, especially the ones that are super stoked, already pre-approved. But tell everybody how they can get in touch with you, and because I want people to know about Andrew Ank, Sphere Real Estate. Sphere Real Estate's a great company. I met Andrew through Sphere, and we've been doing great things, helped a lot of people in the last 18 months, and it's like, let's keep that momentum and help more people. So tell everybody how they can get in touch with you.
Yeah, John. So I'm Andrew Ank, like you said, Sphere Real Estate. You can get me on Instagram at Andrew Ank Realtor, Facebook at Andrew Ank, my YouTube channel, Andrew Ank. Pretty easy to find.
Perfect. And what's your phone number?
702-461-5119.
Perfect. Well, once again, Andrew, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much for coming in today.
Thanks
and
for
hopefully
having
you
me,
enjoyed
John.
it as
It
much
was
as
so
I
much
did.
fun. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks.
Can't wait to do it again.
Yes, sir.
All right.